Good evening and you're welcome to Joy News at 8. My name is Israel Lion. Coming up in the bulletin, pharmacist strike still holds despite suggestions a 3-week-old action has been called off. The prison service says it is leaving nothing to chance as prisoners prepare to vote in national elections for the first time this December. In business, Bank of Ghana lifts sanctions imposed on Access Bank over a violation of the Foreign Exchange Act. In showbiz, Single and Married, a movie produced by actress Yvonne Nelson, receives massive patronage. And on the international front, Kenyan soldier kills 6 Somali civilians near Al-Shabaab stronghold of Kismayo. Stories in detail. A strike called by pharmacists in the public sector over their migration onto the single spine salary structure appears to be largely holding, despite suggestions it has been called off. Joy News sources say the Government and Hospital Pharmacists Association at its annual general meeting in Cape Coast last week agreed to call off the 3-week-old strike and submit to compulsory arbitration. Checks at some government hospitals earlier today, however, revealed the pharmacies are still locked, with just a few opening intermittently to serve some patients.
Our visit to some government hospitals in the capital early Monday morning revealed that some pharmacies were still under lock and key. At the Ridge Hospital, for instance, our team saw an empty pharmacy with no pharmacist at post and no patients waiting to be served. Even though the doors to the main dispensary at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital were shut, some patients had gathered. Our inquiries revealed that some pharmacists were at post, but they were attending only to emergency cases. Some patients who had been waiting to be served shared their frustration with Joy News.
The second time I'm still and they had to me because hospital.
The situation was, however, different at the La General Hospital. At the time of our visit, pharmacists here were attending to patients. Some patients said there was a mix-up early in the morning when they arrived, as they were told the pharmacists were still on strike, only to be later told that the action has been called off.
Oh, we started early this morning. Actually, the strike was called off on Friday, but because we're at our AGM, there was no way we could open the place. So this morning that we've opened fully. So as you could see, we are serving the patients who are in. This is not the normal number. I mean, with time it will pick up. You know, it's taking close to 3 weeks now. So some patients, clients might not be aware. So the information is now gone down to prescribers, and then they will direct them to the pharmacy. We hope that the message we're sending them has been made clear, so that we are put at where we deserve.
Patients who spoke to Joy News team asked government to intervene to find an amicable solution to the stalemate.
When they told us in the morning the pharmacy was not working, I was disturbed. But later on, when they told us they have started, I'm now happy. The government should do what they want for them so that things will work well.
The Government and Hospital Pharmacists Association, comprising pharmacists working in government hospitals, clinics and other health facilities, reviewed their services 3 weeks ago to protest the delays in their migration onto the single spine salary structure.
Well, joining us on the phone line now is the President of Gospel, Stephen Kwokwe. Good evening, sir, and thank you very much for your time. What exactly is the status of your strike as we speak, on or off? Unfortunately, we seem to have lost Mr. Kokwe on the line. We continue with our other stories. Now, Ghana's border with Ivory Coast was today opened temporarily to allow commuters on each side to cross. This is the first opening of the border after it was closed on Friday due to an attack said to have been launched from Ghana that resulted in the death of 8 persons, including some of the assailants. The Ivorian authorities, who agreed to the temporary opening after a protracted meeting, described it as a humanitarian gesture. The border has since been closed. Joy News has learned the Ivorian authorities say they will monitor the situation and may allow another temporary opening as and when the situation requires. Meanwhile, trucks waiting to cross over with their cargo are so stranded on either side of the border, with serious implications for businesses. Now, we'll consider the economic impact later in the business segment of the bulletin. We go back to our first story on the pharmacist strike, and we have on the line now the president of GOSPA, Stephen Kokwe. Good evening, sir, and thanks very much for your time once again. What exactly is the status of your strike as we speak? Is it on or off?
As we speak now, our members had a meeting over the weekend, and we just had a letter from the National Labour Commission, which invited us for a compulsory arbitration. And as the rules of the National Labour Commission, it means that if we want to pursue the compulsory arbitration, our members have to recall and come back to work. So our members naturally took the decision, and we decided to return to work while we pursue the National Labour Commission to finally resolve the issue.
So let me get the understanding. You have called off the strike as it is?
We have returned to work.
Okay. It just turns out that some of the pharmacies are still locked.
Yes, the message has been given to all our members nationwide. We had that meeting when we had our national annual conference in Cape Coast, and a lot of our members attended this conference, and they have been getting back to their station. So we are very confident that by tomorrow, latest by Wednesday, our members will all be at home.
All right. Meantime, what's the status of the negotiations, the compulsory arbitration with the National Labour Commission?
Well, today we had the first meeting with the National Labour Commission, and the ground rules was laid. They reminded us of the fact that if we are going to pursue the compulsory arbitration, we need to return to work. And we actually gave them our word that our members have already taken that decision last week when they were invited by the National Labour Commission for this compulsory arbitration. So in pursuit of that, they decided that either Wednesday or next week Monday, the panel will continue with its work.
All right, thank you very much. You heard Stephen Kokwe. He is the president of the Ghana Hospital Pharmacists Association. Now, the 2012-2013 cocoa production target is set to be faced with an unlikely threat. From a record 1 million tons, the Ghana Cocoa Board has had to scale down the target to 850,000. But Joy News has learned even that figure may not be attained because several acres of cocoa plantation at Samreboy in the Wassa-Menfi West District of the Western Region have been destroyed due to the activities of illegal small-scale miners. Joy News' Eric Curtis Howard reports that major culprits are Chinese immigrants whose activities are causing massive destruction to forests and pollution of the Tano River.
This is the main road leading to the thriving Galamsey site in the heart of Samraboy's lush green forest. It is dusty and bumpy and takes about 2 hours to make the journey. Samraboy is a cocoa growing community in the Wassa-Menfi West District of the Western Region. Though a predominantly cocoa growing community, illegal mines are gradually springing up. The Akunta Mining Company Limited is one such new mine to have sprung up in the community. Our checks at the Minerals Commission, however, indicate The company is not licensed and has no concessionary permit to operate in the area. Our attempt to enter the mine was resisted by the company's security officers. After more than 20 minutes of heated exchanges, we finally entered the mine, which according to residents used to be the home of over 600 cocoa trees. But today, the 20-acre land is dotted with huge piles of earth from pits dug by the illegal miners.
Free Samurai boy. We couldn't sketch that union super piano. And then say, your problem, Papa. Near who the park of form beguha. So, Mumma made Mombom see a buying a mom crata on Bayo Moduma. Almost see a buying, almost see a buying crata so moon fanching. And one say, or a gun of Fubi do woman, Momban is on Wabeca, was Asia, Nanko Faton, penny for I do almost as well, Matonina, and said it him.
The Chinese, in their search for gold, dug up these pits, which are now filled with water, posing danger to lives. And they have showed no signs of redeveloping the land, a contravention of the Minerals Act. Using several heavy-duty machines and unperturbed by the presence of the media, the Chinese continue their work, worsening the already sorry state of the forest and polluting the Tano River, which serves residents of Samraboy.
Because of a Jumano Moyano, no more machine piansuna, no more sino, no more you load nefrim, intinamensiuna sam. So, and now here, the way Messiah, Sicilian Surahana and Crassifo now, Musano Mujali. Because of the Omuyan intimacy, Many, and I want almost say, Nanum near Mamma Coco Niadi. So, into her. Even Jumano Mayano, as I'm come feeling now, almost to any Bibia, Hedo almost a giant, so be Trump Granas and Assensui, never far, or be Tom Crow to me.
And when it became clear that the media's presence could have a telling effect on their operations, the Chinese did not hesitate to engage us in fisticuffs.
You fight the Ghana man. You will go to China. You will go to China.
At this point, it was obvious we were in danger, so we had to immediately flee the mine. But the Chinese are not the only ones engaged in the illegal mining business. Several residents of the community are also involved. They prospect for gold inside the Tano River. They would not speak to us on camera when we contacted them, but they claimed they had every right to the minerals which are underneath the soil. President of the Ghana Small Scale Miners Association, Osei, is appealing to the government to immediately address the situation of illegal small-scale mining to help save the large tracts of arable land from destruction.
In fact, we are not going to allow any illegal form of mining, especially the foreigners coming in to do illegal mining. We are saying that we are not going to tolerate it. So we want the Minister of Mines, Lands and Natural Resources to come in to see to that the people must acquire the relevant documents before they can operate. And if they don't have, they shouldn't work.
Meanwhile, residents of Asankrigwa and other surrounding communities have hinted they will embark on a massive demonstration if within 2 weeks, government does not take immediate action to address the Galamsey menace as well as the involvement of foreigners in illegal mining in the area.
The peaceful and successful presidential and parliamentary elections Ghana has organized over the period is indicative of how well rule of law is working in Ghana. President Mahama says it is a clear sign that Ghana is reaping the dividends of strong and working rule of law. He says this is also because we uphold and respect the Constitution. Addressing over 120 heads of state at the UN high-level meeting on the rule of law, President John Mahama says this has even resulted in rapid economic growth. According to President John Mahama, his administration is even putting more interventions in place to further strengthen and consolidate the gains already made. Now, Seth Kwame Boateng joins us live from New York for an update on what else the president has been up to. And good evening and thank you for joining us, Seth. What else has the president been up to?
Good evening, Israel. The president has been meeting some development partners after his address at the UN high-level meeting. A while ago, he met with the UNDP
administrator, where they discussed issues concerning development. After that, he also met with Renaissance Group, which is an investment body. The president tried to woo them to come to Ghana, told them of the several opportunities in the country, business opportunities they should take advantage of and come here and invest. So that meeting closed a while ago. In the next few minutes, he will join in President Barack Obama and other world leaders for a reception in Israel.
And what's his program going to be like for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, we shall be at the United Nations headquarters for the general debate opening session to start. Afterwards, there will be lunch by the Secretary General of the UN, Ban Ki-moon, and President Mahama will attend. Afterwards, we'll have bilateral one-on-one meetings with other investment bodies, Israel.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Seth Kwame Boateng, and he's joining us live from New York, where the president is attending the UN General Assembly. You're also tuning to Joy News. We're taking a break. We'll be back with more stories.